Hello, happy 2022. Thank you for being here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking my favorite Nightwish albums from most to least. So a couple disclaimers before we get started. First off, I am sticking to the studio albums with this list. And second, this is just my opinion. I don't hate any of these albums, but you know, with every band, you have your preferences, right? Let's get started. First up is Once. It's one of my all-time favorite albums, and it has remained my favorite Nightwish album. This album holds a special place in my heart. This is the album that really made me fall in love with them. I think the only skip on this album is Dead Gardens. I don't hate that song, but I do think it's the weakest on the album. But this album contains my favorite Nightwish song, which is Ghost Love Score. I also think it has one of the best album openings of all time with Dark Chest of Wonders, and I do think that that song is the best opener of any Nightwish album. Next up is their latest offering, Human Nature. There are no skips on this album. There's no filler. It is a masterpiece from start to finish. So the album is made up of 2 discs. The first one are the songs that are made up with the vocals of Floor, Maroko, and Troy, and the second disc is an instrumental. So this album came out in April of 2020, and I think it came out at both a perfect time and a terrible time. A terrible time because they were obviously not able to tour to support this album because of the pandemic, but also the perfect time because if there was ever a time of year where we needed this beautiful, inspiring, uplifting, brilliant music, it was the year 2020. Next on my list is Imaginarium. This is also a very uplifting album. It is a very visual album. There's a lot of fantasy. I really love this album from start to finish. I think it all flows together beautifully. I love Annette's vocals on this album. She did a fantastic job. Next is Dark Passion Play. Dark Passion Play almost feels like the inverse of Imaginarium. This is a very dark, heavy album with some very depressing, very melancholy themes to it. The skip for me on this album is For the Heart I Once Had. Sometimes I'm in the mood to listen to it, but usually I'm not. After which I put Century Child. Again, no skips on this album. For me, there's no filler to this album. My favorite songs on this album are Slaying the Dreamer and Feel For You. Next up on my list is Wishmaster. No skips for me on this album, although I feel like I've heard She Is My Sin so many times that there are definitely times when I don't really want to listen to it. My favorite tracks are Come Cover Me, Wanderlust, and Crownless. And Dead Boy's Poem, obviously. Next on my list is Endless Form's Most Beautiful. I've mentioned before in a video that I did not love this album, and I realized that it's a bit controversial to say that. I know a lot of people really love this album. That's totally fine. It was just personally not one of my favorites. I do really like the tracks Weak Fantasy and Our Decades in the Sun. And I have come to really love The Greatest Show on Earth. I have come to really appreciate it for the opus that it is. It is a masterpiece. I'm not always in the mood to listen to the whole thing, the whole 24-minute version. I much prefer to listen to the live version of it with Floor. I did get to see this song performed live when they first went on tour for this album. They were in New York City and I saw them there, and they sounded absolutely amazing. And this song live was really just breathtaking. Hey guys, so I'm editing right now, and the first part of where I talk about Oceanborn got cut off. So next on my list is Oceanborn. I don't love Taria's voice on Oceanborn, but I do have an appreciation for the quality of the songs, especially for the fact that this was only their second effort. It's pretty damn impressive. I love Devil on the Deep Dark Ocean, Walking in the Air, and Swan Heart. And at the bottom of the list, surprise, surprise, Angels Fall First. I have no favorites. I don't listen to this album. So that is it. That's my list. Those are my most favorite to least favorite Nightwish studio albums. What is your list? I want to know. Leave it down in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your likes, your comments, all of your support. Thank you for subscribing if you have. I really, really appreciate it. You have no idea. I hope 2022 is less of a sucky year. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you very soon. Thanks again.